Hello, my name is Mike Schumann. I am the coordinator of the Karmic Margin Call Project Virtual Services Time Bank. I'm also the administrator of the Karmic Margin Call Project. So we are meeting here with our fellowship that we meet with every 2 weeks. We wanted to invite you into our world. So this is the only time I'm going to be breaking the fourth wall and speaking to somebody outside of the circle right now. But we want to invite you into our world, into our circle. So we are going to be discussing the 6 principles of collaboration, and I'm bringing 3 exercises that help us kind of break through those barriers of communication. The reason being is we want to reach out to other time bank coordinators, other Our World coordinators and admins. I would personally like to reach out to the Transition Town community and other nonprofits to kind of help create this new world, create this new socioeconomic paradigm. So we have created hours and hours of material so far about reverse market mechanics, how to account for socioeconomic equality. We've also, we are a time bank, so we are offering virtual services and receiving virtual services that intentionally we would like to reach an international audience. And then that third element that we're going to be talking about today is the collaboration. And we're going to let you get to know us a little bit. We have other materials available where you can get to know each one of us as well. We each have given presentations and we'll continue to give presentations. So thank you for joining us. And we hope you enjoy these 3 exercises about collaboration. So now I will turn it back to our fellowship here. And the first, we did our informal check-in before starting the recording. Now I would like to do a focused check-in, so 1 minute each. So the first question I usually ask to open up these conversations is, what do you have to say that you feel has not been heard? That is a question you can answer and take 1 minute to answer. Another question I might ask is, what is new for you this week? What is new for you that had come up recently that is very powerful that you feel like sharing? So I'll let you think about those questions for a minute. And I will start. What comes up for me this week is, this awareness. Oh, I'm going to start the time as well. So I have 1 minute to answer the question. Just checking. So what has come up new for me this week is this awareness of just being in the moment, being in the now. All of the planning, all of the strategy, all of the left brain thinking has already been done for me in the last 15 years. And now it's just really a process of surrendering, of letting go, and really being here in this communication. The 4 of us who have been here have already done the work to create socioeconomic freedom. The only thing left to do now is to share the work that we have done. So I want to express a lot of pride, and I want to express a lot of gratitude to each one of you, for showing up every 2 weeks and for engaging in this and for being here with each other. Because I think the only thing that's really missing right now in this world, because we have all kinds of technology, we have all kinds of means, and we have all kinds of methods. The only thing that's missing now is fellowship, is collaboration. And that's my 1 minute. And thank you for listening.
I can go next.
Thank you, Mark. Let me start the clock and go.
Thank you. Yeah, just kind of riffing off of what you said too, because what I'm present to or returning to is this sort of sense of awe and curiosity. I write it a lot in my sort of promotional materials to get to know me. This story about being the very first memory that I've ever had was my grandmother putting a little chick in my hand and feeling the awe that and it stayed with me for a very, very long time. And I know in the last couple of years or so, I've been feeling that light dimming a little bit. So this sense of returning to awe, curiosity, this idea that in my recent meditations that we're like a receiver, or like, oh gosh, what keeps coming to mind is what my teacher Elizabeth Wilcock often says: the way of the lotus, radiating beauty from the stinking mud. And that's kind of where that's kind of where I'm at. So thanks. Awe and wonder.
Thank you, Marta.
Thank you. I'll jump in.
Great.
Because thank you, Mike. Thank you, everyone. I have the same like concept, amazement, and I've been calling it going into the valley and collecting valuables. How are you today? I'm in the valley collecting valuables. Just learning how life in my world flows and continuing to commit and show up and move through things. And the, techniques I've learned here throughout the past, wow, however long we've been working at this, it's been a while. They're helpful. They've helped me ground. They've helped me stay in the moment, helped me not to allow my light to dim. We all have a light inside of us, and finding that light and holding on to that light and letting it shine for all to see is so amazing. So that's where I'm at. Thanks.
Great. Thank you, Nefertiti.
Okay, I'm not really sure what to say at this point. What do I feel that's not been heard? I just get the sense that there's kind of an awareness that things need to change generally, and that everyone has their own kind of piece of what information that they can bring to the table. I was just watching something about the automotive industry and all the churning that's happening within that while it's changing over to electric vehicles. And there are so many things that have to be juggled around and put into a good position for it to kind of go forward. And everyone's got a little part of it. So they all presented their finding, and then it was okay, so now what we're going to do about it. And it's like, sorry, we've run out of time now.
And we did, time.
Yeah, exactly. So I just see this happening all the time. We need to kind of, it's the so what bit. What can we do now?
Oh, so what can we do now? You know what? Parmjit, I asked you earlier, maybe that could be the question for our second exercise. What do we do now? That might be it. Let's onto that intention. So that's great. Okay, so the first exercise, and Nefertiti, I'm going to give you the floor for this one.
Okay.
So this is an exercise I learned while I was studying acting and drama. It's called If I Ruled the World. And basically what I'm going to do, Nefertiti, is I'm going to give you 2 minutes to just talk. This is the committed speaking part of our presentation. So one of the 6 principles of collaboration is committed speaking. So I'm going to give you 2 minutes, and you're going to begin every sentence with, if I ruled the world. When I started working with this exercise in the mental health community and with suicide survivors, they changed it. They started every sentence with, in my world, so they kind of recorded with what really was rather than the way they wanted it to be. So Nefertiti, I'm going to give you the choice to do either one of those, if I ruled the world or in my world. So just speak from
one
your
or
heart.
the other.
Yeah,
one or the other.
One
Okay.
or the other, or both if you want. That's fine too. Sometimes I found it very valuable to just say my heart wants to say, or whatever it is. Just keep it consistent to whatever it is. The point is to put yourself into a vulnerable place where you're not quite sure what you're going to say next. I don't want you to censor yourself. If you get to the point where you're not sure what to say, you can say, in my world, I would have something better to say. In my world, I would be able to articulate myself better because I don't know what to say yet. And then, let the energy take itself there. And there you go. There's energy awareness too, which is another thing.
Yes.
So I'm actually going to not turn on my alarm because it's pretty loud and my wife and son are still sleeping. So I'm just going to put on my timer.
Okay.
2 minutes. And whenever you're ready, I will start the stopwatch.
If I ruled the world, it would be not like it is today. If I ruled the world, I would have more fun embedded in every moment of every day. If I ruled the world, I would make sure every man, woman, and child has every resources needed and accessible and available. If I ruled the world, I would love to have more collaborative efforts and more speaking with people who are in another area and bring people together. If I ruled the world, I would love to know that I could depend on the people ruling the world, which means that I would be able to depend on myself. And if I ruled the world, I would want others to feel like they had a voice and it mattered what they said and it mattered what they felt. And just to know that just having existence here on this planet is vital. It matters. Like if I ruled the world, I would make sure that that doesn't go lost. It doesn't become lost in the sauce. It's, you know, if I ruled the world, it wouldn't be about politics. It would be about more just human caring, you know, because the people who are running the world are humans. You know, so that humanity piece would be so much more evident in all the things that we do, you know. And if I ruled the world, I think it'd be a lot funner. If I ruled the world, I would be able to probably think of more things to say in 2 minutes, if it's not 2 minutes already. And if I ruled the world, I don't know. I would definitely have to travel the world in order to rule the world. And if I ruled the world, I would love to make everyone aware of the world that they're in, because it's pretty awesome. I just, you know, feel like that would be helping everyone be more kind to each other.
That's time. Awesome. Awesome.
Yes.
Okay, so now what we're going to do is each one of us who just listened to what you had to say, we're going to take a minute and reflect back what we heard and what resonated with us and why it resonated with us. So this is the generous listening portion of the collaborative process. So there was those 6 principles, remember? Marta covered them all. Committed speaking, which you just did, Nefertiti. We're going to practice generous listening and committed speaking back. And hopefully this is creating a third one, which is mutuality. So I would like to start with reflecting back, and I'll take my 1 minute here. And you know what? I'm just going to use my clock on my computer, because I'm trying to not make too much noise right here. Okay, so it's 45 starting now. Cool. I made notes what I heard, Nefertiti. Yes, what really resonated with me, because when something really resonated with me, I started to tune out for a moment, and then I had my listening ears back on. But you know, what I heard that came in very loud and clear is that we would everybody, every man, woman, and child would have every resource they need. That is something that I really resonated with, and that is something that I took notes with first. You know, it would be more collaborative. You know, we would bring people together, which is what I feel like what we're doing. We would be able to depend on who's ruling the world, which means we could depend on ourselves. I heard you're taking responsibility for that, you know, creativity. So that's great. And for that, you know, that power you have. It would be more about caring and less about politics, which, you know, politics to me is, you know, very cerebral, you know, very toxic. And collaboration is very caring. And I'm at my time there, but yeah, there's a lot more that I have written down that I heard that resonated with me. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'd like to go next.
Great.
What I love about it too is with generous listening that I've been playing around with, and I did it with you, Nefertiti, is really just being with you and how you're expressing. That's what really came through for me, with words being, you know, maybe 5% of the communication. The rest is all, you know, your smile, your face lights up when you were talking about fun and awe, and adding more of that into it. That's where I'm at. So I vibrated with that for sure. I was like, yeah, I want more of that too. And just like Mike said, this idea, it struck me when you said it, like being relied upon. If I ruled the world, like, you know, if I really did, like, how would I approach that? How would I show or demonstrate a higher level of trust between myself and other people? So Yeah, that's what came up for me. That's awesome. That's what I heard.
Great. And that is time now.
Thank you.
Gosh. So do you want me to start, or are you going to start your timer?
I'm ready to go whenever you start speaking.
Okay, cool. So that was a lot of information, Nefertiti, and it was very, very put across with lots of energy. I kind of wondered whether you felt some kind of like a pressure because you had to say stuff within a certain time, and so there was that. But definitely your bubbliness came over, and to put it all into like a nutshell, I think if you ruled the world, you would be you. You would be that version of Nefertiti that can just have fun and meet people and care for people, because you want a world where you can come out, you know, your caredness
Yes.
and your sense of fun. Yeah.
Great. And that is time now. Great. So Nefertiti, no time limit at this point. What were you feeling? What happened to you during, what was happening for you during the exercise, and also being able to listen to what, we responded back to you as well?
Well, I do. I was in my head thinking of all the things that I could have been doing if I ruled the world, and I felt in my body. I felt the highs and lows of the experience. I felt the twing in my back of my head, like, well, you don't rule the world. So that was a factor too that was going on. And then also just the just time, time is so amazingly, it's like a double-edged sword, like I love the time that I have to spend and do things, and then I don't want it to end. So yeah, there's all those things happening at the same time, and just let it all go and be focused right here and now. So thanks.
Yeah, what comes up for me listening to that is that awareness of Kairos time and Chronos time that we were discussing the last couple times as well too. So yeah, absolutely. Cool. So great. Are you complete?
I am complete.
Great. Anybody else want to add something or say something else before we move on? No? Great. Excellent. So you got a little taste of what it would be like to rule the world and to do that in collaboration. So yeah, that's that I feel empowered, and I feel empowered listening to you, and I feel grateful that you are a part of this team, Nefertiti. So thank you.
Thank you.
Great.